From the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution, I'm Joel Norwood with today's Ag News. An interesting week for politics, that's for sure, and President Joe Biden addressed the nation earlier today.
Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory, and I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
Eyes in agriculture now looking to who fills key cabinet positions in the Trump administration. Rumors swirling on social media today of Joel Salatin being offered some sort of advisory position in the new USDA. Salatin is a direct-to-consumer farmer, self-described as a, quote, Christian, libertarian, environmentalist, capitalist, lunatic farmer. He's outspoken on several issues in modern agriculture. The Hill also reporting that Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky signaling that he is ready and willing to accept a role concerning agriculture in the Trump administration, but he shot down a rumor that he's already accepted a role as Secretary of Agriculture. Trump supporter Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has called for overhauling regulations on pesticides and processed food products as well. And President Biden calling for things to cool off a bit during this time of change.
That's what the American people deserve. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans.
And farm groups quick to point out a list of immediate priorities that they'd like to see passed in the near future. A new farm bill, of course. Also, the passing of a tax package in 2025. They also look for the modernization of the H-2A migrant worker program, the approval of year-round E-15 nationally, a reset of regulations passed under the Biden administration, such as livestock competition rules, and EPA's power plant rule to be repealed to help boost rural power production. New data from USDA says September U.S. pork and beef exports higher year over year. That information compiled by the U.S. Meat Export Federation says pork exports well positioned to set annual volume and value records this year, with September numbers up 8% from that category, value up 6%. U.S. beef exports up 5%, while export value up 6%. Harvest wrapping up around Ohio, still a few fields left to see the combine, but overall, getting close to done. And it's the opposite down in South America as planting is getting underway, wrapping up a record-setting soybean harvest. Combined, the North and South American 2024-25 production could be absolutely enormous. Brazilian farmers are now in the field planting, and it's expected they'll increase acreage by about 3% worth to a total of 117 million acres. Joanna Kalausi is an ag economics instructor at the University of Illinois.
This marks the slowest growth in a decade, driven by lower profit margins for farmers.
More acres in the state of Mato Grosso. The whole of the area produces about 60% worth of Brazil's annual soybean crop.
Still, if weather conditions help, Brazil's soybean crop could hit 6 billion bushels, a new record.
Combine that with the U.S. farmer expectation of harvesting about 4.5 billion bushels of soybeans this fall.
In total, South America is projected to produce around 8.7 billion bushels of soybeans in the current crop season, contributing to what could be a record global production of 15.7 billion bushels. With this global supply surge, led by a record U.S. harvest, we may see further downward pressure on soybean prices.
Now, as of last Thursday, the planting was 54% complete in Brazil, which is ahead of last year's planting pace, but it was initially behind. In Argentina, their planting has not yet begun, but it's expected they'll increase soybean acreage by 7%, producing a 1.7 billion bushel crop. Marketers keeping a really close eye on South American weather from now until February. That'll set the price. Speaking of prices, we'll take a look at market numbers up next on the Ohio AgNet.
Those long days in a tractor cab can really put a cramp in your body. So while refueling or refilling your equipment, walk around the tractor a few times or do a few head-to-toe stretching exercises. When fatigue does set in, that's when injuries and mistakes happen. Know when it's time to take a break and recharge. Let's make sure everyone gets home safe and sound. This message from the Ohio AgNet, OSU Extension Ag Safety and Health Team, and this station.
Let's take a look at closing market numbers after Thursday's trade in Chicago. A big bump up for soybeans today. We'll start there. November new crop beans up 21 cents today to $10.15.5 per bushel. January beans closed $10.26 up 22.5. December new crop corn up 1.25 to $4.27.5, while March corn $4.40.5 for those contracts, up 1.5 cents. July wheat down 1.5 to $6.05.5. Markets thanks to Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. December live cattle, a 43-cent gain to $185.83. January feeder cattle 30 cents up to $244.33, while December hogs down 93 cents to $81.20. February hogs gaining 15 cents though to $85.30, and milk trending up by about 20 cents. Big USDA report day tomorrow as the World Ag Supply and Demand Estimates report coming out at noon Eastern Time. USDA's November crop estimates tend to add increased accuracy to production estimates. This is the Ohio AgNet.